All right. Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday afternoon. I hope that your week has gone well, that your 2 weeks have gone well, because I wasn't here last week. Today, we're going to be talking about, Roku's latest press release, or at least we're going to be trying to. Okay, look, I'm still coughing like crazy, so I'm going to try to make it through this live stream. We'll see how it goes. Okay, but I couldn't say no 2 weeks in a row. Okay, I'm here for you. So we're going to be talking about Roku's latest press release and the announcement of Roku OS 11.5 and a couple of new products or updated stuff going on there. I've also got a message on Twitter from a longtime viewer. And he sends me lots of good stuff and sent me something good yesterday. So I thought I would share that with you as well. I'll let you know more about that in due course. We should talk about Roku first. In fact, I think the colors behind me are all wrong. I need a purple behind me for this to make any sense, right? So that's the wrong one. I want a purple. I want a good. How about this one? Oh, there. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we need a good Roku purple. How about like that? Yeah, purple and pink. We'll call it. Yeah, all right. So since we're talking about Roku, I needed to make sure that the ambiance is there. Roku announced OS 11.5. Now, excuse me. Oh boy. And I'm going to be doing that this whole time. Okay, so my apologies now. They announced it in a press conference that I was unable to attend, unfortunately, because I was sick as a dog. I can't even tell you how sick I was. But I caught up with the news a little bit later and put out a video earlier this week, the same day that they released the information. So if you watched that video, you probably already have a good idea of what is coming down the pike with Roku. But we're going to talk about it here today so that you can fire off any questions you've got. Not that I'll be able to answer them as well as, the Roku people, but I also don't have the PR spin that you'd probably get with some of that. So maybe you'll get some unvarnished opinions that way. That's no shade on Roku PR. They've been great to me, but PR is PR, and luckily we don't have to do that here. So, all right, as we get started, let me tell you the first thing that I am the most excited about. Well, yeah, I think it's the thing I'm most excited about, and that is, and it's kind of an early iteration of this. Okay, so let me pull it up here. This is from Roku's press release, and this is the first one. Oh, yeah, let's blow that up. This is the first one that we're going to talk about. Okay, continue watching. So this is, like I say, an early iteration of this, so hopefully it gets even better. But basically, it's continue watching right now shows up on your, like if you go into your what to watch tab on your Roku device, then you'll see a continue watching, but it's only continue watching for the Roku channel. Now, they'll have the Roku channel, that's great, but they're also bringing in HBO Max, Netflix, and Paramount Plus. So just those three to start. Bringing those in to try to make a unified continue watching tab. Now, is this revolutionary? No, it's not. Many others have been doing this for a few years now. Apple TV has been doing this with some exclusions, obviously. This was why I was so excited about the TiVo Stream 4K when it came out. They tried to do a version of this. The Chromecast, I thought, did a little bit better at it. The new, 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago almost, the new Chromecast with Google TV did this a little bit better. So this is a long time coming as far as Roku keeping up with its peers. But I'm glad it's here. It's a feature that I think is extremely useful. So that being said, I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. So now that we've got the very first thing out of the way here, let me say hello to everybody. So, and before I do that, I should say I'm going to be talking about something that somebody sent me on Twitter. And yeah, if you Twitter, then that's where I Twitter. I don't really Twitter very much, but my DMs are open. So it's a quick, easy way to get a hold of me. And I apologize. I know some of you have reached out, and it's either taken me a long time to respond, or I've never gotten around to responding. And I do apologize for that. I do get lots of messages, but it's not as much that as just the fact that I make a conscious effort not to open up not to open up Twitter every single day. And so sometimes I just miss things. They fall through the cracks, and sorry about that. But anyway, let's see. Gary says good vibes. Indeed, good vibes. As a Mariners fan, it's good vibes only around here. Thomas, hello. William's back from vacation. Looking forward to interesting conversations. Well, I hope you get some. I hope this is one of them. But this is you don't exactly get a money back guarantee with this particular live stream. Let's see, David. Hello, Stacy, Paul. You bet Craig is geared. I hope I am. Like I said, I'm going to be coughing through this whole thing. I've filled up my water bottle. I've got a liter of water that I'm ready to sip my way through over the next hour or so. So let's see, Bill, Neil, Sylvia. Oh man, I can't keep up with everybody. Often late, but never wrong. How dare you? I started right at 12 o'clock. Didn't I? It was pretty close. It might have been 12:01. How dare you? Okay. All right. Yeah, this is a fun typo. Should be an interesting conversation, even though I don't go near a Tokugawa. I mean, Roku. That's pretty good. Freyden, welcome. All right. So, let's see. Under the weather. Yeah, for those, I'll address this a couple times, but yeah, I'm going to be coughing. I was out last week because I got laid out, you guys. It was either the worst cold of my life, or COVID, or something. I don't know, but I still the bronchitis is real. And it's uncomfortable, and yeah. So I'm probably going to be coughing for a couple more weeks, but I can't quit you guys. I'm still here. So, all right. Am I going to puke on live? No, I will not puke live on YouTube. It's one of those things where I'm feeling a lot better now, but it takes a while for all of the symptoms to go away. In this case, the cough is just, it's lingering quite a bit. So, all right. David, if they add ESPN to that list, so I assume you mean the list of continue watching. I don't know why you would weep. I can't remember, David, are you an ESPN Plus stan or an ESPN Plus hater? Interesting. Okay. I don't have anything planned for a Sony Bravia Core streaming app review at this point. So yeah, we'll see. Do I have COVID? I never got around to taking a test. I just kind of, I lived out here in this studio for like 5 days, you guys. I just kind of self-isolated and died for 5 days, and then miraculously didn't die. Okay, so let's get back to the Roku OS. Please tell me the new OS gives the ability to not have to log into every app when setting up new Roku devices. I know I'm dreaming. Yeah, it's, I get it. I get the frustration with conveniences like that. I totally get that. Oh my gosh, every time I set up a new device, it's you got to go through, in my case, dozens of apps doing different logins just so I can review the dang thing. No, there's no, as far as I know, this is not part of Roku OS 11.5. Who knows? Maybe buried in the code somewhere, but I haven't heard anything about this. The problem is with something like this, we have to balance convenience and security. And that is a live debate, in Roku headquarters and everywhere else, all these other companies that put out these devices. I'm sure it's a huge debate. But think about this. Think about the security implications of if someone got just one password. Basically, if they got your Roku password, and then all they had to do was buy a Roku device and log in on that, that with that password, and then suddenly they have access to all of your subscriptions. Back end information as far as your payment info, and who knows. And now with Roku getting into shopping with Walmart, that the security concerns are real. So while I would, much like you, love the convenience of this sort of thing, it's just not to be. So All right. Uh, everybody's asking me, man, everybody wants me to have COVID. No, it is very much not a dry cough. Wow. It's something else. Typhoid Craig, that's right. There will be history books written about me one day. All right. I already answered this one. I don't have anything in the works. I don't have anything planned. So there you go. There's your answer. Maybe in the future, but not right now. Okay. Mel, you're welcome, and thank you for showing up today. That's really nice of you. Okay, let's get to another thing to talk about here. Okay, so we've got the continue watching. That's great. Let's blow that up a little bit. Continue watching allows you to, it brings all of your continue watching stuff together into one place. So that's great. Now we have the buzz. Okay, the buzz, I'm a little bit more like, maybe we'll see how it goes. It could be interesting. It might not. But let's read through this here. The buzz brings a new discovery experience to the biggest screen in the house. Okay, so right there we have kind of the purpose of this, a new discovery experience. So this is trying to answer the question of what should I watch. Now, there are a few ways that devices and their various software have gone about this, trying to use an algorithm to match up your tastes to titles that you can watch. I thought the Chromecast was really, really good. Is really, really good at that. But we're going a different way here with the buzz. Okay, so. The buzz, in fact, I'm going to close that for just a second because I've got an image I can show you. The buzz. Okay, let me put this up on my screen. Okay, so here is an image that Roku has shared for the buzz. All right, so this is what it's going to look like. Basically, okay, so you'll see up here and down here, we've got arrows, okay? So what is the buzz? It's basically almost like a slideshow, a vertical slideshow. You can click through, and it's going to serve up stuff that you may want to watch. Now, if we go back to our, let's see, where's our list? Okay, let's go back to this list. There isn't anything as far as I can tell. Let's see. Okay. Oh man, there's a lot of buzzwords in here. And this is always the thing about these press releases, isn't it? Users can browse a frequently updated collection of posts featuring entertainment-centric short-form content from popular streaming services and entertainment brands. Okay. So, let's see. Posts may include video clips, images, trailers, interviews, and other content to help users discover movies and shows that match their interests. That's the closest. That's the closest language I can find that says that they may be using a personalized kind of algorithm to match up with your interests. Maybe that sounds nice, right? That is kind of the way it maybe should go. Ultimately, though, this is what I compared it to in my video earlier this week was the front page of IMDb. So if you ever go to imdb.com, the Internet Movie Database bought by Amazon a few years ago, I think it was now. But it used to be just like, hey, here's information about movies. And now it's very much like an entertainment hub, or at least it tries to be. And so you go onto the front page and it's going to serve you up trailers, new marketing images, interviews with this or that producer, director, star, whatever, videos, articles, whatever. So all on that front page of IMDb. That's what we're, I think, looking at more here, is something like that, where it's they may introduce some kind of algorithmic matching with your interests, but honestly, my gut tells me that this will basically be an advertising space, which probably throws a lot of us off, kind of off the bat. I don't want to be advertised to. I'm sick of advertisements. But hold your horses, because sometimes advertisements can be useful. And so, it may be the case that that you get something served up to you in an advertising space like this that actually is relevant, that actually holds your interest, makes you want to watch. And so I'm reserving judgment on this. I think it's an interesting idea. It's certainly a different way of going about discovery, content discovery, than other platforms have done, at least as far as I know. I'm not sure of anybody else doing anything quite the same as this. So yeah, anyway, so that's the buzz. All right. And I'm curious what you guys have to think about that. Or what you have to think, what you have to say about that. Let's see. Am I in the minority here? Says D Bill. I don't need my streaming device to recommend. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's more to this. I read something. Right. Okay. But I don't need my streaming device to recommend. All right. Are you in the minority? I don't know. I suspect that there are a lot of viewers who get their content recommendations just by browsing social media, getting served up information, ads, whatever, online while they're on their phone, they're on their computer, whatever. And so by the time you get to your streaming device, whatever that may be, you're like, I don't need a content recommendation. I know what I'm going to watch. I'm going here, whatever. But that's not everybody. Some people do need, they do need that nudge. They need that help to find something to watch. I think we all have, even if you're not somebody who's inclined toward that, we've all had days where you sit down at the TV and you're like, well, gosh, what am I going to watch? And you kind of like mindlessly browse through Netflix or whatever for an hour and then be like, okay, that was fun. I'm going to bed. And you never watched anything. So some people do like these recommendations. Here's what I like about how Roku is going about it. If we compare it to, say, let's compare it to Fire TV. Fire TV has gone through several different iterations of their main interface. I should say Fire TV, Prime Video, whatever, the Amazon interfaces. Excuse me. Now, with those, think about it this way. We've gone through all these iterations because they can't quite get it right. They can't quite find what's that balance between what the user wants on their homepage, what our advertisers want on our homepage, what we want to serve up to them, and how do we lay all of this out correctly, whatever. And so it gets to be this jumbled mess. And they've tried, and they have improved. The Fire TV interface and the Prime Video interfaces, they were terrible for a while. And then they got a little better, and then they got a lot better. But they're still not like, I wouldn't say that the Prime Video interface is locked in, right? They can tinker with that and they can improve it. The Roku interface, on the other hand, pretty much perfect as far as that front page. You go to your home page and that tile layout I guess it would be on the right side of your screen, the tile layout where all of your apps are laid out. There's a giant ad on the other side of them, but hey, you can ignore that. You don't have to click over that to get to your stuff, right? Anyway, so they've got this kind of perfected homepage. And what I like about something like this, the Buzz, is that it will not interrupt that homepage. You can go here if you want, but you don't have to. So when Bill says, am I in the minority here? I don't need my streaming device to recommend stuff. Great. Then it won't. You'll still have that ad on the right side of the home screen. Again, you can ignore it and don't click over there. But if you don't ever want to use this, you'll never have to use it, right? It doesn't interrupt your flow. Unlike, again, I feel like I'm picking on Fire TV. Actually, I like Fire TVs, so take that with for what it's worth. But on Fire TV, it's like, okay, I go to my home screen and the first thing up there is an ad for some show, and I've got to click down to get to the home screen out of the ad. And then as I click down, there are more ads being served up to me. It can get wearying. The strategic mute. All right. So anyway, that's with previous Roku updates. OS 10, OS 10.5. A lot of people were grumbling and I don't know that you're grumbling, Bill. I'm not trying to put intentions behind your words, but there were a lot of people who would say this is bullcrap. I don't want this feature. I don't want that feature. But the thing about Roku is they always put it in that left hand menu, so you have to go to it to get to the new thing, leaving their main interface alone. Which, what harm does that do you? If you don't want to use it, don't use it. Anyway, I guess I could go on, but I won't. All right, let's see. I could have sworn The Buzz was a show on E! With Kevin McHale. Joel McHale did The Soup. There was something called The Buzz. I don't really remember anything about it. I stopped watching TV a long time ago. So, this is okay. Here we go. Socrates, thank you. An excellent comment. I worry old equipment won't be able to handle new updates soon, and I'll have to rebuy all of my Roku devices. This is a concern that I share. It was one of the first thoughts I had when they rolled out all of these announcements. Let's go back real quick. See if I can. Yeah, there we go. See if I can pull this up a little bigger for you. So we've got, let's see, coming to the home screen menu, The Buzz, continue watching, save list, Roku store. We'll get to that. Live TV channel guide stuff. Anyway, so there are several new features, and like The Buzz sounds like it could be fairly intensive, as far as taxing the hardware that you're using. Maybe not. Maybe it's a kind of thing. Sorry, let me back up and just say, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's coming on to these, coming online with these devices, and that was my thought too. If you make the operating system too robust, then it's going to slow down the device. It's going to slow down my experience. It's not going to be it's not going to be supported anymore by Roku. And I don't know. I'm not a technical enough person to know for sure. But I wonder if, what I compare this to is the Chromecast. Okay, and let me tie this in with the Chromecast. It was always a little too slow for me, at least when it first came out. It was too slow because, and the storage capacity was nothing, because the operating system was so big, so robust, that it took up a lot of that capacity. When you would fire up the machine and it would try to pull up all of its recommendations, it was a little bit too slow, and that was basically why. So is that going to happen to Roku devices? Maybe, maybe not. The maybe not comes because of what I was just talking about, where the excuse me, that home screen is separate, and so until you actually click onto The Buzz, it's not it's not actively having to go out and gather that data and ping whatever server you're using to pull all of that data and then add it to your home screen and then arrange it and then whatever. And so the memory requirements may not be much greater than they currently are. As far as storage, I think that is a concern. Making the Roku operating system bigger with more options necessarily cuts down on the storage space that you'll have for other things. That being said, the Roku OS is historically lean enough that I feel like they've got some wiggle room. It's with most Roku devices, it's pretty tough to fill them up. With apps, you'd have to be pretty dedicated and have hundreds on there to get to the point where it's like, yeah, you don't have enough space to download that app. You're going to need to delete something. That's pretty tough to do for your average user. So all that to say, Socrates, I'm with you. I share this concern. I'm curious about what they're going to do with it going forward. But, it is the way of things. Eventually, every iPhone, is destined for brickdom. because eventually the operating system, and the apps, the compatibility just won't match up. So no, you can't use your iPhone 4 anymore. Okay, sorry, it's a brick. And eventually Roku devices hit that same wall that they can't climb over. So it is the way of things. And this is why I say, so you say I have to rebuy all of my Roku devices, depending on how many you have and where they go. That's why I say, don't get a Roku Ultra for every single house or every TV in the house, right? All right. So let's talk about some more. And I know I have missed a bunch, okay, but I'm gonna go on. Oh man, remember when Roku suggested using a memory card for backup? Yeah, I do. That was funny. This is true. The Roku Ultra has does the new one still have an SD slot? I think it's got an SD slot, and I know you can do USB storage on that. Anyway, sorry, you guys are distracting me. You're terrible influences, all of you. That's right. Save list. Okay, let's talk about this. A save list. Now, where's my phone? There is save list. I don't know if I can do this fast enough. Streaming. Come on, where's my Roku app? Come on, Roku app. Where are you? Seriously? You guys. This is killing me. There's my Roku app. Okay, so when I pull up my Roku app, and I'll blow this up for you in just a second as soon as I find it. Let's go with, okay. There's my mouse. All right. So on my Roku app, I know it's hard to see this, but you can see my save list right here. Okay. So this thing exists. And when I find a title, I want to search shows, movies, actors. So I'm going to click on my search button. Let's go to, let's go to a Western. Let's find a Western to watch. Okay. Longmire. This is really hard to do backwards, you guys. So let's see. Devices, blah, blah, blah. Where's my... Oh, there's... They didn't take it away, did it? There's supposed to be a save. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's confusing. All right. This is ridiculous. Oh, there we go. Okay, the Big Valley. Sure, the Big Valley. There, add to save list. Oh, yeah, okay, added to save list. Now we go back to the home page. And voila, there it is on the save list, and it'll show up on my TV save list as well. Okay, so you can do that. You can do this on your phone. This is possible. Now, you can easily save movies and shows from across the Roku platform to create a save list of content they want to stream later. All right, so this will be located in What to Watch as well, and I can show you in a moment what that will look like. Let's see. So yeah, it's not like it's going away from the mobile app. It'll still be in the mobile app, but the idea being that now as you're scrolling through your Roku using your remote, you can put stuff on your save list, and then it'll show up in What to Watch. So what will that look like? Let me show you. Okay. Save list. Here we go. All right, so here's our save list. This is, their example. Hey, they got a Western on there too. All right, so you'll be able to bring things in from your save list or into your save list just using your TV instead of having to go through mobile. Let's see, what else we got? We talked about the Buzz. And then, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to show you. It'll be very similar. So this is in our What to Watch tab in the Roku, like on that left-hand menu, it'll say What to Watch. In fact, let's see if I can. Oh, yeah, that's actually what I want. So yeah, over here in What to Watch. So you'll see it'll have the Buzz as well. It's got What to Watch. So if I go into what to watch, then it's going to have my continue watching, my save list, whatever, and whatever else they put in there. So that is what that looks like. Okay. All right. There are 102 folks watching now. Is that a record? It is not a record now. No, I think even in just the last couple of months we've had, I think we've peaked at like 150 or so. And don't forget there is a Facebook page. So those of you watching on YouTube, there are others watching on Facebook as well. But no, the record was, this is a fun question, so I'm taking a break from Roku stuff for a second. The record was, I want to say like 3 years ago when Disney Plus was launching. And we did a dream job. Those of you who've been, with the channel for a while, you remember some of the dream jobs that we've done. And we did a dream job around Disney Plus. And, we put out the press releases and let everybody know that this dream job was coming. And it went viral. It went absolutely bananas. Like, we were expecting, X number of people to enter for this dream job. And it was like X times 10,000, 100,000, something. The numbers were crazy. And so I did my live stream announcing the winner, or whatever, the winner, the dream job person who got picked. And I want to say in that one we topped out at like 12,000 or something like that. I mean, it was just a huge number of people watching. And that was a lot of fun. It was so you've seen the chat over on this side of the screen. The chat, you guys are commenting a few comments per minute, usually on average. Imagine, between 50 and 100 comments a second. And it was just constant. I've never seen anything like it. So that was, it probably should have been the most stressful live stream of my life, but at a certain point I just let go and said, let chaos reign. And it was a lot of fun. Okay. Yeah, to watch the good stuff and get paid to do it. Yeah, that was basically it. It was, yeah, that's right. It was watch 30 movies on Disney Plus in 30 days, like right after it launched. That was the dream job. Okay. What's this I hear about ESPN? What gives? I'll tell you more about it. It's not something happening with ESPN. It was just an interesting bit of information that that Andy shared with me yesterday. So I'll bring that up in just a few minutes. Let's wrap up our Roku discussion. I want to see if there's anything else that I really want to talk about. Oh, you know what? Oh, okay. I will mention this as well. There we go. The Roku store is also coming. And so right now it's like TV store, movie store. But now they're going to consolidate all of that and change it to be more, hopefully, they say more visually appealing. Within the Roku store, users will be able to navigate through different categories to easily find and shop for new streaming content. All right. Let's see. It will appear on devices in the coming months and be expanded over time to offer a more streamlined and integrated shopping experience on the Roku platform. So there you go. Presumably, that means so this will take the place of the TV store, the movie store, and the app store, for lack of a better word. I think they call it something else, but all of that is going to get put into one place so that you can find all that stuff together. And they're saying that, yeah, it will be visually different than what we're used to now. All right. So where were we? All right, that's Roku OS 11. There are a couple of other things to note. Roku Voice is adding some new visual tools. So when you hold that microphone button and voice search, then something a little bit different than normal will come up on the screen, and you'll be able to use your voice to actually select what you see. Like, if it's available, then you just press this and presumably go something like play on HBO Max, or whatever. So that's a change that's coming. And then for content discovery, another content discovery thing, if you go to their live TV channel guide, they're doing a couple of things. They're adding a guide button on the mobile app. So in the mobile app, you can click on the remote, and it basically shows you this in your mobile app. And now they're on the mobile version. They're adding a button. They're not doing it to the physical remote, at least not yet. But you'll be able to press a guide button to immediately get to your live TV channel guide. And then they're also adding categories in the live TV channel guide. So if you've ever watched Pluto TV, I think Tubi does it as well, where on the left side you've got 200, 300, whatever channels. Now they're sorting them by entertainment, sports, movies, whatever. Putting those categories off to the side so that you can more quickly scroll through your live TV stuff. Okay. That being said, I do want to get to, I'm sorry. Last thing software wise, Bluetooth private listening. Finally, thank goodness. So with the newer remotes, you can, wrong side. You've got the 8.5 millimeter jack so that you can, with the little headphone symbol right there, so that you can watch, with private listening mode on. You just plug basically any set of headphones into your remote, and it'll let you do that. But if you wanted to do it with a wireless pair of headphones, maybe you have some earbuds you want to hook up and use, you would have to go through the mobile app, get your get them set up through Bluetooth on the mobile app, and then make sure that's connected to your TV, and then play the content, through the mobile. It was convoluted. It was a little too difficult. So now, with some of their devices, they're going to be allowing whatever, they're going to be providing this this functionality, Bluetooth private listening. So not every device is going to get this right away, but as the updates and the years roll on, it will, I'm sure, trickle down to other devices as well. But it's good that they're finally taking that step. All right. Now we get to, wait, where did they go? Oh, this is only on the, they're only talking about the Roku OS 11.5. So I'll tell you more about it. Excuse me. All right. Let's pull this thing up. They've got two new devices. First of all, we've got this guy. Where is it? There it is. The Roku Express. Oh, wait a minute. What? This isn't a new device. No, it's not a new device, but they are updating it a little bit. This yellow bar here says fast Wi-Fi for smooth streaming. Well, they're adding dual band Wi-Fi to their Roku Express. You'll see the remote hasn't changed. So in order to keep it as cheap as possible, they're giving you a not as functional remote. There's no voice search button. There's no TV control buttons. So that hasn't changed. It's still only HD. So this isn't the Roku Express 4K. Basically, they're just updating their base model Roku Express to allow for dual band Wi-Fi. I think they might be upping the storage on it as well. I can't remember off the top of my head. But that's the big thing, is the dual band Wi-Fi, which should make it a little faster and more responsive when you actually call up content to watch. Should make it go a little quicker. Okay. Oh, man. The other thing I wanted to mention is this guy right here. There it is. Let's blow that up a little more. The Roku wireless base. Now, this one really caught my eye because I've got a whole Roku surround sound setup here. And for those of you who have been with the channel for a while, you recall my issues around Roku surround sound. And I was able to get some of the Roku people on the phone to help me fix all of that, and it works great now. It's all wonderful, whatever. But I've got the Roku subwoofer. Now, the subwoofer is awesome, but it is extremely powerful. Now, that's okay for me because this studio, as many of you know, this studio is a standalone building in my backyard. So this is not, it's not like I'm in my basement or something. And so when I turn on a show, when I'm watching Rings of Power or, whatever, I can really crank the volume on this. And it would have to be remarkably loud before it ever, disturbed anybody else. So the Roku subwoofer, great, thumbs up, love it. But if I were in my house, if I had something like that in the basement, it would be way too powerful. And you can adjust it, I know you can adjust it. But it's, it's overkill. You don't need something that's able to do that if you're in kind of a smaller, more confined space. Enter the Roku wireless base. Basically, this is a more compact, less powerful version of the Roku subwoofer, at least as far as I can tell. If any Roku people are watching, email me and correct me. But it's a little bit less powerful. They're going to be shipping this either by itself or bundled with the Roku Stream Bar. Now, that is interesting to me, and it's a way for us to kind of understand what this particular device is, where it fits in the Roku ecosystem, because it's we've got the Roku Stream Bar, but there's also the Stream Bar Pro. The Stream Bar Pro, there's a little bigger, beefier, more powerful, whatever. But it's also more expensive. And so I think that's a really good comparison, is you've got the Stream Bar versus the Stream Bar Pro, and that's the same comparison I would make with the Roku wireless base over here, the Roku wireless base versus the subwoofer. More compact, a little cheaper, better for situations where too much bass would be, well, too much, right? So there you have it, the Roku wireless base. With all of these Roku sound devices, the Roku audio devices, I should say, they're really, really good. The only catch is you have to use them with a Roku TV, or a Roku Stream Bar or Stream Bar Pro. And so you can't like mix and match these with other systems. Basically, it's it's a little rough that way. But if you're a Roku person, if you're willing to use that, if you're willing to kind of be immersed in the Roku ecosystem, then the devices themselves, the audio devices, really are fabulous. The Roku wireless speakers, you can kind of see one right above my finger here. The wireless speakers are so good for the price. I don't know that I've come across another TV satellite speaker, even near that price, that does anywhere near as well. I think the value on those things is off the charts. So, okay. This time it's personal. That was, hey, you should all go and look up that video again. It was really something. Okay. What was I gonna say? Okay, I think we're good on the Roku stuff, you guys. I'm looking over at your comments. Let's see. What services do you currently subscribe to? I watch everything illegally. Movies and TV show and live TV. Well, that's not very cool. You're making it more expensive for the rest of us, so thanks for that. All right. On the other hand, my Roku TV really beefed up my Vizio surround. Oh, interesting. Okay. Would love a Sonos Beam too, but it's way too expensive. Ain't that the truth? Yeah, I would love to afford a Sonos Beam 2. Like and subscribe. All right. The Fire Cube at $70 is by far, bar none, the best streaming device. I mean, it's a good streaming device. It's a very good streaming device, but it's not the best. Excuse me. All right, you guys. Let's see if I can pull this up. Give me just a moment. I'm going to pull up my Twitter here, you guys. I don't do that very often, do I? But I'm pulling up Twitter so that I can show you what Andy sent to me yesterday. In a or Andy, what do you go by? All right. Let's pull this one up here. All right. Oops. Wrong button, you guys. Oh my gosh. Who am I? What's going on? Okay. So Andrew sent this over to me. Says, hey, take it with a grain of salt with these studies and everything. But I thought it was really interesting. So we're going to talk about it. Cable subscribers say they must have ESPN from Beta Study. Beta Study is a group that they do studies. So, or beta research, sorry. Okay. Said that 78% of network viewers called ESPN a must-have network. Now, why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up. First of all, I think it's interesting, but it gets to something that I've been saying for a while now, and you all know how I love to just be proven right? Yeah. Oh, Andy, but I'm Andrew on the socials. Yeah, there you go. Not this one. You're Andy here. So, all right. You all know how I love to be proven right, and I've been saying for a while that ESPN is it's the last kind of linchpin. As an industry, broadcast TV has been playing Jenga for years and years. And they've gotten to the point now where if they remove one more brick, it's all going to come tumbling down. ESPN is that brick. All right, there's your analogy. This is why you come to these live streams, for this kind of brilliant analysis. All right. Now, I've been saying this for a while, but let's go on and read a little bit more about this. And I should credit this site real quick: Broadcasting and Cable. All right, from Next TV. Okay, so 78% of network viewers called ESPN a must-have network. Keep this in mind right here, network viewers. Okay, now kids channels have plummeted over the last few years, but 73% still say Cartoon Network and Disney Channel are must-haves. Got some others down here. INSP, I think that's the Inspiration Channel or something like that. And there's a bunch of others. You can see like a lot of these get touted as must-haves. There we go. Okay. They got this with a national sample of 1,200 cable and satellite subscribers. This is important to me, and this is why I'm really interested in this particular number. 78% of network viewers called ESPN a must-have network. So when they say 78% of network viewers, they're talking about people who are still subscribed to cable and satellite. So if you ask me, if they ask you, what are the must-haves, things are going to be different, right? But this is people saying, hey, if I'm going to have cable, if I'm going to continue having my satellite service, there are certain things you've got to have. ESPN being the biggest one of those. Now, this is interesting because Disney, that owns ABC and ESPN and sundry related sports networks, they are looking for a way to make ESPN streamable, or more streamable than it is. The problem is, they're in some pretty lucrative contracts right now because ESPN is such a valuable channel. They get quite a bit out of their deals with these carriers, cable, satellite, even some of the streaming providers like Sling and YouTube TV and all that. Like they're getting quite a deal from that. And so spinning out ESPN into its own streaming service is it's a dicey proposition. Are they going to get as much from an ESPN app as they would by licensing it out to these other carriers? I don't think that they would. And so right now, it doesn't make a lot of sense for them to spin it out and make a new app. Think about it this way. What percentage of ESPN viewers who say, that this is a must have, how many of them, if it went away, would crawl over broken glass to find the streaming app and sign up for it, pay the $15 a month that it would probably be, if it were ESPN in its current iteration? How many people would actually do that? I think it's a smaller number than some people might suspect. On the other hand, if ESPN and therefore Disney can pull in more revenue just by continuing to prop up cable and satellite providers, then they're going to go with that for the foreseeable future. So anyway, as much as it hurts me, because I would love to see a standalone ESPN app, something that I can do month to month. I don't care about sports. I don't care about most sports, after say like New Year's or so. But like college football season right now, I'm interested in it. I like college football. Anyway, so does that make sense? Anyway, that's where we're at with it. I'm curious where we are, what you guys are thinking about this. ESPN is only good for Monday Night Football. I don't think so. Okay. Let's see. Most cable and satellite customers are technically challenged. Oh, I don't think that that's true. I don't know about most. I'm sure some of them are, and some of them don't want to have to learn streaming devices, and that's fine. If you've got the budget for it, and you're like, hey, I know how to work this remote. I understand how my satellite provider works, and I want to stick with that. Stick with that. Like, I don't know that we should all be cheering the demise of cable and satellite the way that we do. What we should be cheering is the way that they hopefully are going to be forced to change as they reckon with changes in the industry. But anyway, but most of their users, I should say, with regards to this, I don't think that most of their users are technically challenged. I just think that they have different incentives than you and I do. So, let's see. All right. For what it's worth, CNN, Fox News are the same way. Neither can unbundle the live channels because of their deals with cable. Yeah, oh yeah. No, it's kind of what I've been saying for a long time is if it weren't for live sports and 24-hour news, there would be no point to these TV bundles. They really are propping everything up. Pay $8 a month for ESPN. They call it ESPN the Ocho. Now we're talking. Great reference. Okay. I signed up for Fubo just for college football. You, Kirk, are in a very crowded boat with a lot of people who do this sort of thing. I am right there with you most years. So, yeah. ESPN Plus is so disappointing. It could be so much better simply by adding SportsCenter to it. Well, SportsCenter is the beating heart of ESPN. And so if ESPN is propping up all of these cable and satellite contracts, then removing the beating heart from the beating heart of broadcast TV, or, well, I guess cable TV, it's not technically broadcast TV, but from traditional linear TV would, that would be a knife straight to the beating heart of the beating heart. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. ESPN is only good for live sports, not for their other shows. All right, there we go. Just add SportsCenter. No talking. Only live sports. That's funny. Let's see. Any update on YouTube TV's rollout of up to 4-screen multi-watch? No, I don't. I haven't had a chance to use it. I haven't been signed up for YouTube TV for a while. So I haven't had a chance to use it, but that would be a fun one to to give it a shot. All right. ESPN Game Day, the best program. Well, not if you ask Alec. Let's see. Each Power 5 network doesn't do a great job of covering the other conferences. I mean, why would they? They're all about their conferences. I actually, gosh, back in, I graduated from BYU. And so I went to BYU. I still cheer for BYU. I'm a long way from my BYU days, but I still cheer for them. And it's been fun to cheer for an independent, because we get to kind of like look down upon the rest of the Power 5 conferences and pick opponents and whatnot. It's been an interesting few years. All right. If you're a hardcore sports fan, says Andy, then okay, now we're getting into some, this is quite a statement. Cable and satellite are the best value. It's not me, but if sports is your number one source for entertainment, cable's got it all. Yeah, and I wonder how true that will continue being, with NFL Sunday Ticket cutting ties with DirecTV. Was that next year? I think it's next year that's coming up. That's a huge sports fan paradise kind of thing. And that has allowed DirecTV especially to say like, hey, this is your number one home for sports. Obviously it's not just about football, but that was their marquee, like, exclusive service, and that's going away. So, all right. I'm just reading through the rest of your comments. I'll go through a couple more before I call it for today. I'm surprised my throat has lasted this long, but I'll admit it's on its last legs. I don't know how I'm going to do my second live stream today, but they're gonna suffer through a lot more of my coughing. This is, let's see, from Jeff. I'm not sure what you're referring to with not sure about it, but satellite operators are great when you're way out away from everything and you can't get good internet. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. Okay. Any new update on the HBO Max Discovery merger? No, I don't have any update. I did not check the news on that in the last couple of days. And so if you saw anything that I missed, please let me know. Like I said, I've been very, very sick. And so I'm a little bit out of the loop. But that's one I kind of feel like I would have heard about that if something big had come down. But no, I haven't heard anything yet. All right. Wow. Congratulations. You told a joke I've never heard before. That's a lie. I've heard that 8,000 times a year, every year, my entire life. Any news on Sunday Ticket? Nope, no news yet. All right. Let's see. Why don't you cancel your live stream today and get your rest, drink some tea with lemon in it and honey? Porque no los dos, Morgan. I'll go get, I think I will. I'll go grab some tea with maybe some honey, maybe some lemon, like you say, and drink that during my next live stream because heaven knows I'll need it. Anyway, all right. This is true. HBO Discovery continues to cut costs. I guess if there's any news, it's the news that they continue to find things in their library to cull to save a little bit of money. I need chicken soup. I got a lot of that too. Maybe I'll have some of that. I thought you were out because of D23. No. I try really hard to care. Because Disney has some of my favorite properties. I do like Marvel and I do like Star Wars. And I try to care, but I can't quite do it. So I haven't even watched all of the trailers and whatnot that they've announced. I kind of just figure I'll consume it when it comes along my way. Anyway, all right, I'm going to head out. Gosh, we are coming up on an hour. So I'm going to head out. If you want to keep up with me elsewhere, I'm doing a live stream on the Legendarium in an hour. That one's going to be very, very different. Usually I've talked about content like House of the Dragon, or the Rings of Power. And I'll talk a little bit about the Rings of Power today, but I'm going to be doing some pros analysis. Okay, so this is how nerdy I am. All right, so you can come hang out with me there in an hour if you want to. Otherwise, please make sure that you and everybody you know is subscribed to this channel. Make sure that you that grammatically that made no sense, but make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you share out this channel if you enjoy what we do here. I much appreciate it, and make sure you go to Reviews.org. Bookmark the page, use it, love it. It's a good team over there with a lot of my favorite people. So go check out Reviews.org. Thanks everybody for watching. I will go hack up a lung and see you next week.